All right, let's get right into it. We all think about getting older, right? And, for a lot of us, it kind of brings up this feeling of dread. We picture this slow, unavoidable decline. But what if that whole picture is just wrong? What if our later years could actually be a time of renewal, a time of thriving? Today, we're going to look at some amazing new research that completely flips the script on the story of aging.
So, why is this such a big deal right now? Well, take a look at this number. 22%. By the year 2050, that's going to be the slice of the entire global population that's over the age of 60. That is nearly a quarter of every single person on the planet. This isn't some far-off issue for somebody else. This is a massive change that's happening to all of us.
And that brings us to the big question, the one that I think sits in the back of all of our minds. Is getting older just a one-way street to feeling worse? Is that decline something we just have to grit our teeth and accept? For a long, long time, that's pretty much been the story we've told ourselves.
To really appreciate this new way of thinking, we first have to wrap our heads around the sheer scale of this change. I mean, our world is getting older at a speed we have just never seen before in human history. And listen, this isn't some prediction for the future. It's already happened. The World Health Organization confirmed this milestone back in 2020. So the era of the older adult? We're living in it right now.
So when we think about what causes that so-called inevitable decline, these are usually the culprits that pop into our heads, right? You know the list: unhealthy diets, smoking, not getting enough sleep, sitting around too much, being stressed out all the time, feeling isolated. We know this stuff isn't good for us, and a lot of people just assume, well, the damage is done, the path is set.
But this is where the story gets really, really interesting. A groundbreaking new study just came out, and it directly takes on this old pessimistic view. It basically suggests that decline is not our destiny.
And we're not just talking about a few feel-good stories here. The stuff we're about to get into is based on solid data from thousands of people, over 8,000 in fact, all of them 60 or older, who were tracked over a 3-year period.
And this quote from Dr. Manisha Paralekar, a geriatrician who commented on the study, just nails it. This research isn't just a small update, it's a powerful, direct challenge to that old belief we've held about aging for so long.
Okay, so if we're not just doomed to decline, what are we actually aiming for? Well, the study uses this very specific term, optimal well-being. And trust me, it's a way richer and cooler concept than you might think.
So what does it actually mean? Well, according to Mabel Ho, the study's first author, it's this whole package. It's not just about having good blood pressure numbers. It's a complete state that includes your physical freedom, your mental health, having people you can count on, and, actually feeling happy and satisfied with your life. You can kind of think of it as being built on 5 key pillars. You've got freedom in your daily life, good mental and memory health, not being held back by severe pain, having those strong social connections, and just a real, genuine sense of happiness. That holistic state, that's the goal.
All right, the goal is clear. That sounds amazing. But how in the world do we get there, especially if we feel like we're already kind of struggling? Well, the study gives us a roadmap, and it's surprisingly straightforward.
Now this, right here, is the most empowering part of the entire thing. The study's senior author points out that the key factors are modifiable. What does that mean? It means they are in our control. These are choices we can make, not some genetic destiny we're stuck with forever.
And here they are, the 4 big ones that really stood out in the data. Now, these might not seem shocking, but what's incredible is how powerful they are for regaining well-being, not just holding on to it. Staying active, not smoking, getting good sleep, and working with your doctor on any existing conditions.
But while those 4 are absolutely critical, the researchers found something else, one factor that acted like a massive catalyst, a huge boost for bouncing back to optimal health. 5 times. Get this, participants who started the study with good psychological and emotional wellness, even if they were struggling physically, were almost 5 times more likely to get back to that state of optimal well-being 3 years later. I mean, that just shows you the incredible power of the mind-body connection. Your mental state isn't some side issue, it is a primary driver of your physical renewal.
So let's just zoom out for a second. Why is this more than just another health report? Because it totally changes our perspective on the entire second half of life.
What this research does is it lets us throw out that old depressing script and write a completely new one. Well-being isn't some finite thing that you use up over your lifetime. No, it's a renewable resource, something you can actually cultivate and restore at any age, even after you've hit some rough patches.
And here's maybe the best part of all. Dr. David Culler's take on this really drives home that this path to renewal isn't just for the wealthy. It doesn't run through expensive clinics or fancy, exclusive treatments.
Instead, it's built on these things that are accessible to pretty much everyone. We're talking about going for a walk, eating good food, connecting with friends, working on things like mindfulness to get better sleep. These are strategies almost anybody can start doing.
So what does all this boil down to? It's simple. Hope is not just some fuzzy feeling. It's a scientifically backed strategy. This research proves that our bodies and our minds have this remarkable ability to renew themselves. It is truly never too late to start.
Ultimately, what this gives us is a new map for aging, a map where the destination is renewal, not decline. The science is clear, and the path is accessible. So the only question left is the one you see right here.